In this section, we will talk about the multiplication of polynomials. To multiply polynomials, multiply each term of the first polynomial with each term of the second polynomial. Simplify by combining like terms. Then finally, write the polynomial in standard form. For example, to multiply 3x times the quantity x squared minus 5x plus 3, since 3x is a monomial, we would simply distribute that to the second polynomial. So we have 3x times x squared. Since we have a positive times a negative, I know my sign will be a negative, so I'm going to put in the sign before I multiply. So I have a positive times a negative, that's a negative, and then I will write 3x times 5x. Then I have 3x times 3, I have a positive times a positive, so I know my result will be positive. If I simplify this, when I multiply 3x times x squared, x times x squared is x to the third power. When I multiply the same base, I add the exponents. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 times 5 is 15. X times x is x squared. 3x times 3 is 9x. This is in standard form in descending degree order. So this is my final answer. Let's multiply 3x minus 4 times the quantity 2x minus 6. When we multiply polynomials, we multiply each term of the first polynomial to each term of the second polynomial. So the 3x, which is the first term of the first polynomial, will multiply to each term of the second polynomial, and then the negative 4 will also multiply to each term in the second polynomial. Let's see what this looks like. We have 3x times 2x. Since I have a positive 3x times a negative 6, I know my result will be negative. So I will write minus 3x times 6. Then I have a negative 4 times 2x. Since I have a negative times a positive, I know my result will be negative 4 times 2x. Finally, I have a negative 4 times negative 6. Since a negative times a negative is a positive, I will write positive 4 times 6. Let's simplify this. 3x times 2x is 6x to the second power. Negative 3x times 6 is negative 18x. Negative 4 times 2x is negative 8x. 4 times 6 is 24. I do have like terms, which are the negative 18x and the negative 8x. If I combine those, my result will be 6x squared minus 26x plus 24. Next, let's multiply x squared minus 4x times 7 times the quantity x squared minus 3x plus 8. So once again, each term of the first polynomial will multiply to each term of the second polynomial. Let's start with the x squared. We would multiply x squared times x squared times negative 3x, and x squared times negative 8. So let me write that out. I have x squared times x squared. I have a positive x squared times a negative 3x. A positive times a negative is a negative. So I have negative x squared times 3x. Then I have x squared times negative 8. Once again, I have a positive times a negative. So it'll be negative x squared times 8. Now let's do the same thing with the negative 4x. I have a negative 4x times x squared. So I have negative 4x times x squared. Then I have a negative 4x times a negative 3x. I know that a negative times a negative is a positive, so I'll write positive 4x times 3x. And then I have negative 4x times negative 8. Unfortunately, I'm running out of space, so I have to go to the next row. But lastly, we're going to multiply the 7 to each term of the second parentheses. So I have a 7 times x squared. Then I have 7 times negative 3x. And then finally, I have 7 times negative 8. Since I have a positive times a negative, this will actually be a negative 7 times 8. Because I have a positive times a negative, I know my result is going to be negative. Let's simplify this. This is x to the fourth. Negative x squared times 3x is a negative 3x to the third power. Negative x squared times 8 is negative 8x squared. Negative 4x times x squared is a negative 4x cubed. 4x times 3x, this is 12x squared. Negative 4x times negative 8, this is a positive 32x. 7 times x squared, 7x squared. 7 times negative 3x, negative 21x, minus 7 times 8, that is 56. Let's combine our like terms. I have x to the fourth. Negative 3x cubed and negative 4x cubed are my like terms with a degree 3. That's going to give me a negative 7x cubed. With the x squareds, I have a negative 8x squared, I have a positive 12x squared, and I have a positive 7x squared. If I add all my like terms, negative 8 plus 12 is 4, 4 plus 7 is 11. This gives me 11x squared. Then I have a 32x minus 21x, which gives me 11x. And then finally, I have a negative 56. This is the only constant. Therefore, there are no other like terms that we can add with negative 56. So my final answer is going to be the polynomial x to the fourth minus 3x cubed plus 11x squared plus 11x minus 56.